Beloved chosen one, listen closely, for heaven has stilled the noise around you just long enough for this message to reach your spirit. There are ordinary days, and then there are appointed ones. This coming Monday, December 29, 2025, is not just another date on the calendar. It is a doorway, a divine alignment, a moment written in the scrolls of eternity before you ever breathed your first breath. You have felt it stirring inside you, a quiet awareness that something greater approaches. The tension, the fatigue, the constant battles were never random. They were the contractions of destiny, preparing to give birth to something heaven has been holding in reserve for you. Every disappointment was pruning. Every delay was protection. Every closed door was redirection. God has not forgotten you. He has been setting the stage. The world may look at you and see what you've lost. Heaven looks and sees what is about to rise. You have walked through a wilderness of silence. But silence does not mean absence. The Father has been closer than your breath, guiding unseen, guarding unknown, shaping you for this exact moment. There are turning points in the life of every chosen one, days when the ordinary becomes supernatural. Monday, December 29, will be one of those days for you. Heaven has marked it. Angels have been dispatched. What once resisted you will have no choice but to yield, because the timing of heaven has arrived. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." That verse is not just history, it is your prophecy. God has been weaving every heartbreak, every setback, every tear into a masterpiece that will soon make sense. The things that once broke you are becoming the very evidence that God was building you. The pain that once crushed you will testify of his power to restore. So, chosen one, lift your head. The shadows of yesterday cannot follow you where you are going. This Monday will mark a new rhythm. Doors will open, favor will locate you, and peace will settle like oil upon your spirit. You will walk into rooms prepared for you long ago. Conversations will shift, and opportunities will appear where there was once only silence. The pieces will fit because heaven has decreed it so. But listen, this is not a time to shrink back. It is the hour to align. You cannot enter your promised moment with the mindset of your previous pain. Forgive quickly. Release the old. Trust the process. This is divine timing, not coincidence. When heaven schedules something, resistance becomes irrelevant. You have come too far to stop here. The pressure you feel is proof that birth is near. Stand firm. Do not doubt the fire within you. It is not ambition, it is anointing. Heaven has invested too much in you to let this moment pass. Now, take one simple step of faith as an act of agreement. Like this message, if it bears witness with your spirit, share it so another wandering soul may awaken to their divine moment. Comment, "I receive it." Lord below as a seal of surrender and readiness. And finally, subscribe, staying connected to every word heaven is releasing in this season. The countdown to December 29 has begun. Heaven is preparing to make history through your obedience. You will remember this day as the moment the story turned in your favor forever. Chosen one, long before your name was ever spoken on this earth, it was whispered in the throne room of heaven. You were marked, set apart for something that could not be explained, only revealed in its time. Every breath you take, echoes the purpose of one who knew you before you were formed. You were never random. You were never an accident. You were designed with precision, woven into the divine tapestry of eternity. Before time began, the Father spoke a word, and that word was you. You carry within you a blueprint of destiny that darkness has tried to erase again and again. Yet every attempt has failed. The reason the battles have been so fierce is because the anointing over your life carries weight. Hell does not fight the ordinary, it fights the chosen. You have always felt different. Others could blend in easily, but you never could. Your heart has always been drawn to higher things, things unseen, things eternal. You have felt the pull between two worlds, one calling you to conform, the other calling you to rise. And though you have stumbled, though you have questioned your worth, heaven never questioned your calling. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. The path you walk has been divinely measured. Every detour, every delay, every closed door was written into the plan. Nothing in your journey has been wasted. The confusion was part of your preparation. The rejection was part of your redirection. You thought you were being delayed, but you were being developed. The strength you now carry was born in those hidden years when you cried out to God in silence and no one saw. Chosen one, you are living proof that divine timing cannot be rushed. God hides those he intends to honor. He trains his warriors in obscurity. When the time of revealing comes, the oil on your life will speak louder than any introduction. That is why the pressure has been so intense, because revelation is near. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 4, "For he chose us in him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in his sight." That is your identity. You were chosen before creation itself. Think about that. Before mountains were formed, before oceans took shape, before the sun ever burned in the sky, your existence was already decided. The same God who placed the stars in perfect orbit also placed you in this generation, in this year, for a reason no one else could fulfill. This Monday, December 29, 2025, is not the start of something new. It is the unveiling of something ancient. It is the revealing of what has always been written about you in the books of heaven. What was hidden will now be known. What was locked will now be released. You will begin to understand why the journey had to be so long, why the waiting had to be so hard. It was never punishment, it was prophecy in progress. So stand tall. Chosen one, you are not here by chance, you are here by command. The same voice that spoke light into existence has spoken purpose into your being. When you wake on that historic Monday, remember this truth. You are not stepping into something uncertain, you are stepping into something already secured. Heaven has gone before you, and nothing can undo what God has already declared. Chosen one, you know the weight of waiting. You have carried promises that seemed too heavy for your heart, prayers that felt unanswered, dreams that seemed frozen in time. There were nights when silence screamed louder than faith, and mornings when you wondered if heaven still remembered your name. But through every delay, heaven was writing a deeper story. Every unanswered question was shaping you for the revelation that is now drawing near. The waiting season was never about punishment, it was about transformation. You learned how to worship without reward, how to believe without visible proof, and how to keep standing when everything in you wanted to sit down. The crushing you felt was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to produce oil. Precious oil that only comes from pressure. The kind of oil that cannot be imitated, cannot be stolen, cannot be sold. Many have misunderstood you because they could not see what God was forming inside you. They judged the process without understanding the purpose. But God saw every hidden act of obedience, every quiet surrender, every tear you wiped away when no one was watching. Heaven has not forgotten. The weight you've carried has not gone unnoticed. Chosen one, the waiting is about to break. What once felt endless will soon make sense. The very things that hurt you will now help you. The same situations that once brought you to your knees will now lift you to your destiny. You will see why the timing mattered. You will see how divine delay preserved you from premature exposure. You were not being overlooked, you were being perfected. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." That verse was written for you. Your night has lasted long enough, and your morning is approaching. Monday, December 29, 2025, will not be another dawn, it will be a divine awakening. Joy is coming, not as an emotion, but as evidence. The breakthrough will speak louder than your words ever could. You will walk into that day lighter, freer, and stronger than before. The chains that once held you will not even recognize you. The doors that refused to open will swing wide, and the opportunities that once ignored you will now search for you. Heaven has already issued the decree. What was delayed can no longer be denied. Remember, the waiting was the training ground. The pain was the preparation. The loneliness was the invitation to deeper communion with God. Every season of silence sharpened your discernment, taught you to hear His whisper, and molded your faith into something unshakable. So now, as you stand at the edge of fulfillment, guard your heart from impatience. Do not rush the unfolding. Simply align yourself with heaven's rhythm. Let gratitude replace frustration, and let expectation rise like a holy fire within you. And right now, as a prophetic act of agreement, I want you to comment, "It's my time." Those 3 words are not casual, they are declaration. When you type them, you are announcing to every opposing force that your waiting has expired. You are agreeing with heaven's calendar. You are saying, "I'm done surviving. I'm stepping into purpose." Chosen one, believe this truth. Your time has come. What once made you weep will make you rejoice. What once felt delayed will now arrive right on schedule. History is bending toward your obedience, and heaven is preparing to write a new chapter under your name. Chosen one. Sometimes heaven hides the supernatural inside the ordinary. You may wake on what feels like a regular Monday, but what your eyes perceive and what heaven is doing are 2 very different realities. This is the mystery of divine interruption, when God steps into the rhythm of your routine and everything shifts in an instant. What you thought was just another sunrise becomes the dawn of transformation. You've lived long enough to know that God often disguises His greatest works behind moments that look unimpressive. A shepherd boy carrying bread to his brothers became a warrior who brought down a giant. A widow gathering sticks for her last meal became the vessel of a miracle that sustained generations. A fisherman mending nets encountered the Savior and became a builder of the early church. So do not underestimate the power of a single day. Heaven loves to work through what looks small. This Monday, December 29, 2025 will begin like any other day, but it will not end the same. While the world rushes to finish its year, heaven will begin yours. There are seasons when God moves quietly, but there are also days when He announces His presence through undeniable change. You are standing on the threshold of one such day. You have prayed for open doors, but what you didn't see was that heaven was first building new walls within you, walls of strength, discernment, and maturity. Without those inner foundations, the open doors could have destroyed you. God's protection often feels like restriction. His silence is not distance, it is strategy. And now that the inner work is complete, the external shift will follow. Chosen one, when heaven interrupts your routine, nothing can stay the same. The rhythm of your life will change. The pace of your destiny will accelerate. Conversations will align in your favor. People you thought were gone will resurface with purpose. Resources that seemed impossible will appear suddenly. Because divine alignment does not need permission, it only needs readiness. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 26, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Those words are not a theory, they are your living reality. Heaven is not limited by your resources, connections, or past. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is operating even now in unseen places of your life, rearranging circumstances so that when Monday dawns, what was once impossible will become inevitable. Do not expect the shift to be loud. Sometimes heaven moves in whispers. The transformation might begin in a quiet moment, a conversation, a revelation, a thought that stirs your spirit. But pay attention, you will sense it. The atmosphere will feel different, as if something larger than life is breathing through your surroundings. That's how you know heaven has entered the room. This Monday will not demand effort, it will demand awareness. You won't need to chase after opportunities, they will be drawn to the fragrance of obedience on your life. You won't need to fight to be seen, light cannot be hidden. The grace on you will speak where your words could not. So walk into the day with reverence. Treat every encounter as sacred. Even the smallest task could be the seed of something historic. You are walking into a divine setup, a moment where heaven's agenda and your obedience meet. When routine meets revelation, history changes. And history, chosen one, is about to remember your name. Chosen one. There comes a moment when heaven says, "Enough hiding. You have been through the crushing, the waiting, the pruning, and now the voice of the Almighty calls you to rise. You have sat in the dust long enough, believing the whispers of defeat. But that voice that called Lazarus from the tomb is now calling you by name. You are being summoned from dormancy into destiny. The shaking you feel is not destruction, it is resurrection. Stand up, chosen one. You cannot stay buried under what happened. You were never meant to blend into the ashes of your past. You were meant to rise from them. Every scar, every heartbreak, every betrayal has been preparing the soil for new life. What others called the end, heaven calls the beginning. You are stepping into a season where your strength will surprise even you. You will rise not because life suddenly became easy, but because the Spirit of God within you refuses to let you remain down. The winds that once scattered you will now carry you higher. The dust of despair will become the ground of divine declaration. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 40, verse 2, He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. That is what God is doing in your life right now. You are being lifted out of confusion, out of fear, out of cycles that tried to keep you stuck. Heaven is repositioning your feet on solid ground. You will no longer walk in uncertainty but in clarity. You will no longer bow under shame but stand under grace. This Monday, December 29, 2025, will be your standing moment. It is the day you finally see the purpose behind every season that tried to break you. The pieces will make sense. The pain will speak purpose. What was once heavy will become holy. You will understand that the reason God allowed the crushing was not to destroy you, but to produce strength that could carry nations. Chosen one, there is a new authority in your voice. You may not feel it yet, but heaven recognizes it. Your obedience has given you access to spiritual territories that only the broken-hearted and the surrendered can enter. When you speak, things will shift. When you move, environments will respond. The darkness that once intimidated you will now flee at your presence. And when that happens, remember this moment, this message. This call to rise is not just for you. It is for every soul still buried in silence, every heart still trapped in shame. The world is filled with those waiting for a voice to remind them that they too can stand again. So, when God raises you, let your rising raise others. If this word resonates with your spirit, if you can feel the trembling of destiny inside your chest, then honor this moment. Like this message, not for the sake of numbers, but as a public declaration that you are choosing to rise. Share it with someone who needs to hear what you just heard, because your obedience might be their awakening. And if this space has been a voice of light to your soul, subscribe and stay connected. Let your journey be part of something bigger, a community of chosen ones rising together. Your standing is not small. It is the start of a movement. When heaven sees one rise, others follow. And on that Holy Monday, December 29, 2025, the earth will witness what happens when a chosen one stands again. Chosen one. Heaven has a language, one not spoken in ordinary words, but revealed through signs, numbers, and divine timing. Everything God does is intentional. Every day, every encounter, every number carries meaning. And as the dawn of Monday, December 29, 2025 draws near, a prophetic pattern begins to form around you. Heaven is speaking through numbers that repeat, align, and whisper confirmation to your spirit. You have seen it before, those moments when you glance at the clock and see a number that feels like more than coincidence. The repetition pulls at your attention, stirring something deep within. That is not the universe. That is the Creator using creation to communicate with you. Heaven is counting down in symbols only the spiritually awake can recognize. Chosen one. The number now being released in your spirit is 555, a divine number of transformation, grace multiplied, and appointed change. It represents the completion of one phase and the preparation for the next. 5 has always been the number of grace, and when heaven triples it, it means grace upon grace upon grace. You are about to experience layers of divine favor that will cover everything that once brought you shame. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 21. If anyone cleanses himself from what is dishonorable, he will be a vessel for honorable use, set apart, useful to the master, and prepared for every good work. That verse defines your current season. Heaven has purified you in private so you can shine in public. You were refined through fire, not to be destroyed, but to become a vessel strong enough to carry fresh oil. You are entering a stage where heaven will begin to display the results of your inner transformation. The process was painful, but the product will be powerful. Chosen one, this Monday will be the moment of visible shift. Grace will not only sustain you, it will announce you. People who once overlooked you will begin to notice. Doors that once ignored your knock will now open on their own. Your name will surface in places where you've never been physically present, because the hand of God is moving ahead of you. This is what divine alignment looks like when your preparation meets heaven's timing. You are not chasing breakthrough. Breakthrough is about to find you. Every delay was heaven's way of setting the stage for a perfect unveiling. This Monday will be the day when grace takes center stage and history takes note of your obedience. Now listen, this is not the time to doubt. The number 555 is heaven's assurance that change is not coming. It's already here. It's the whisper that says, you've made it through the hardest part. The light you feel stirring in your spirit is proof that transition is complete. You are crossing from surviving to thriving, from hoping to manifesting, from carrying the promise to living in it. As a prophetic act of agreement, I want you to comment 555 below. When you type those numbers, you're not just engaging, you're aligning. You are declaring to heaven, I'm ready for the transformation you have prepared for me. Those digits will stand as your covenant mark, a seal of faith written in the language of grace. Heaven counts differently. Chosen one. And today, heaven is counting down to your unveiling. The number has been spoken. The angels have been dispatched. And grace is multiplying over your life in waves. Watch what unfolds as December 29 draws near, because when heaven begins to count, destiny begins to move. Chosen one. Before the wind changes direction, there is always a stillness, a sacred silence that feels almost heavy, as if creation itself is holding its breath. That is where you are now, in the quiet before the roar. Something is stirring beneath the surface of your spirit, something that words cannot describe. It is not anxiety, it is divine anticipation. Heaven is preparing to release the sound of breakthrough, and the vibration is already reaching your soul. You have been feeling this tension building for some time. It's not confusion, it's the shifting of spiritual plates beneath your feet. Old patterns are breaking, old fears are crumbling. You are standing on the edge of something unseen but undeniably real. And though it feels like stillness, it is the calm before eruption. Heaven's movement is never chaotic, it is precise, purposeful, and deeply personal. You have walked through seasons of silence before, but this one feels different. That's because it is different. This is not the silence of abandonment, this is the silence of alignment. Heaven is adjusting frequencies, tuning your spirit so you can hear the next command clearly. You are about to catch the rhythm of heaven, the pulse of destiny that beats perfectly with your heartbeat. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. God is moving in whispers right now, refining details you cannot yet see. The relationships being redefined, the desires being purified, the dreams being reshaped, all of it is heaven preparing your next unveiling. What you feel as uncertainty is actually spiritual pregnancy. The contraction before birthing, the pressure before release. As the prophet Elijah spoke, as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12, "And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper." That whisper is what you are hearing now, not through your ears, but through your spirit. The still, small voice of God calling you deeper, away from the noise, into divine intimacy. This is not a moment for rushing or demanding. It's a moment for listening. The roar is coming, but it will be born from the whisper. Chosen one. You are standing in the in-between. Heaven's clock has not stopped. It's simply waiting for the perfect second. When the sound is released, everything will move at once. The doors that have been shut will fly open. The confusion that clouded your steps will vanish. The atmosphere around you will change because heaven's command has power to rearrange everything in a single breath. Until then, guard your peace. Protect your silence. Not everyone will understand this stage of your becoming, and that's okay. What is sacred must sometimes be hidden until it's strong enough to stand in the open. The caterpillar does not explain its cocoon, it simply waits. You are in your final stretch of transformation, and soon, wings will replace weariness. When the roar comes, and it won't be a noise of destruction but a sound of awakening. It will be heaven announcing that the waiting season has ended. You will not need to force your breakthrough, the roar will carry you into it. So breathe deeply. Chosen one, stay still a little longer. The silence you're in is not empty, it's pregnant with glory. And when heaven exhales, your spirit will rise with the wind. Chosen one. When heaven prepares to shift your life, it first rearranges the battlefield. The warfare that has surrounded you lately is not random, it is divine repositioning. You may have felt pressure coming from unexpected places, conflict in relationships, distractions in your focus, even a sudden heaviness in your spirit. But all of this is the sound of heaven moving pieces into alignment. Nothing is out of order, though it may feel chaotic. The strategy of heaven often looks like confusion before it manifests as clarity. God is not only working in your life, He is also working in the lives of those connected to your assignment. There are people who can no longer walk with you because their season in your story has ended. There are environments that once served you but now restrict you. When heaven calls you higher, it must sometimes shake loose what cannot fly. This shaking is not cruelty, it is mercy. For to remain in places no longer ordained would mean missing the unfolding of destiny. You have prayed for victory, but victory often begins with separation. Before God gives you the crown, He adjusts the battlefield. Before He reveals the promise, He exposes the enemy, the hidden motives, the quiet betrayals, the subtle resistance you have felt. These are heaven's way of bringing truth to the surface. It is not punishment, it is purification. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That word is for you in this very moment. The reason you have felt surrounded is because heaven has encamped its armies around you. The battle is not yours to win by striving, it is the Lord's to finish in His strength. Your responsibility is not to panic, but to posture yourself in peace. There are victories only stillness can achieve. Chosen one. This is the season when God is exposing the unseen strategies of darkness, the manipulations, the distractions, the counterfeit opportunities, all will be unveiled. You are entering a realm of discernment sharper than ever before. What once deceived you will now reveal itself quickly, because heaven is refining your sight. You will no longer mistake delay for denial or comfort for calling. The Spirit within you is teaching you to see with heavenly perspective, to recognize that not every battle requires your sword, some require your surrender. Do not fear the rearranging. When heaven moves, people, positions, and even resources, it is never subtraction, it is alignment. The removal of what no longer serves your purpose makes space for what will multiply it. The discomfort you feel now is the stretching of new territory being made ready for your feet. Understand this truth. The battle that once terrified you will soon testify for you. The enemies that rose against you will become instruments of your elevation. Every attack has a purpose to push you closer to your appointed place. Even the betrayals will become blessings when you see them from heaven's view. Chosen one, remain calm in the shifting. The atmosphere around you is trembling because heaven's armies are in motion. The unseen is more real than the seen. You are not losing ground, you are gaining clarity. Soon, what feels like war will transform into worship. Because when the Lord fights for you, peace always follows. So, breathe. Hold your position. Trust the strategy of the unseen. The commander of heaven's hosts has already written the outcome, and victory bears your name. Chosen one. Heaven has never forgotten your name. Even when the silence felt endless and your prayers seemed to vanish into empty air, your name was being spoken in places you could not hear. There is a scroll in the courts of heaven that carries your story, not the version the world knows, but the divine script written before time began. Every chapter of struggle, every verse of pain, every word of hope has been recorded with precision. There are moments when heaven reads your name aloud before the throne. The angels hear it and move at the sound. The adversary hears it and trembles, for he knows what is written cannot be erased. The power of your destiny has been sealed, not with ink, but with the blood of the Lamb. You have been marked by purpose, chosen not for ease, but for eternal significance. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. Heaven has watched you carry burdens that would have broken others, yet you continued to walk. You have been misunderstood, mislabeled, and underestimated, but God never misidentifies his own. The fingerprints of the Creator are still visible on your spirit. Every trial you've endured has only made those markings shine brighter. It was written in the book of Malachi, chapter 3. Verse 16. Then those who feared the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard. A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored his name. That scroll holds your record. Chosen one, your sacrifices, your late-night prayers, your faithfulness when no one applauded, all of it has been documented. Heaven does not forget devotion. Every seed of obedience you have sown will yield fruit in its appointed time. You may have felt unseen on earth, but you have always been celebrated in heaven. Your name carries authority. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere recognizes you, even if people do not. The spiritual world knows who you are. Light responds to your presence, and darkness retreats. That is why resistance increases whenever you approach breakthrough, because hell can sense what heaven is about to release. This Monday, December 29, 2025, will be the day when heaven's record of you becomes visible on earth. The things spoken in secret will manifest in public. God is about to confirm, before witnesses, what he already decreed in the invisible realm. This is the unveiling of the written promise. What was sealed will now be signed and delivered. Chosen one. You don't need to strive for recognition. Heaven already recognizes you. The same voice that called your name before the stars were hung still speaks it now. And that sound carries power. The enemy cannot erase it. The world cannot silence it. You are part of heaven's unfolding story, an eternal name in a living scroll. Now, as a prophetic sign of agreement, comment, "I am seen." When you write those 3 words, you are echoing heaven's truth back into the earth. You are declaring that you refuse the lie of invisibility, that you know who you are and whose you are. It is more than a comment, it is a covenant. You are aligning your identity with the record heaven already keeps. Remember this, heaven's memory is flawless. Every act of faith has been noted, every step of obedience cherished. The next time doubt tells you that God has forgotten, remind yourself, the scroll still bears your name, and the ink of eternity does not fade. Chosen one. There is a sacred moment in every divine journey when the mantle passes from promise to manifestation. You have walked through preparation, endured pressure, and stayed faithful through pruning. Now, heaven says, take the mantle. It rests upon your shoulders, not as a symbol of pride, but as a seal of purpose. You are not just stepping into favor, you are stepping into function. The same spirit that anointed prophets and warriors now burns within you, whispering, "Go forth." You may not feel ready, few ever do, but readiness in heaven's eyes is not about perfection, it's about surrender. You are ready because you obeyed when it was hard, trusted when it made no sense, and kept believing when others stopped praying. Every hidden act of obedience was a brushstroke on the masterpiece God was crafting within you. The mantle is not given to the perfect, it's placed on those who did not quit. Chosen one. You carry something weighty now. You are called to bring light where shadows linger, to speak life into dry places, to remind others that heaven is still near. The fire you feel stirring within you is not emotion, it's empowerment. The anointing on your life will cause darkness to tremble. Because you were never created to fit in, you were designed to disrupt. As the prophet Elisha once received Elijah's cloak and crossed the Jordan with power, so too will you cross barriers that once seemed immovable. What once resisted you will now yield. You are a carrier of divine authority. When you move, heaven moves with you. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 10, verse 15, declare how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. That is you. Wherever you go, heaven calls your steps beautiful. Every word you speak in truth becomes a spark of awakening. You may not realize it, but your voice carries the fragrance of eternity. You have been entrusted with the role of a forerunner, one who goes ahead to prepare hearts, to remind the weary that God has not forgotten his people. But remember this, chosen one mantles are not trophies, they are responsibilities. They demand humility. You are not called to display power for attention, but to pour out love for transformation. Every miracle that will flow through you will point back to the one who sent you. Every testimony will carry his signature, not yours. The greater your elevation, the deeper your surrender must become. And when this Monday, December 29, 2025, dawns, something in the atmosphere will shift. The assignment that once felt distant will feel undeniable. You will sense it in your spirit, an increase of clarity, a boldness you cannot explain. Heaven's mantle does not come lightly. It comes with weight and wonder. Chosen one. If these words resonate with what you feel stirring within you, pause and honor this moment. Like this message not for approval, but as a personal act of acknowledgement that you have received your mantle. Share it, not out of routine, but because someone connected to you needs to be reminded that their time is near too. And if your spirit bears witness with this journey, subscribe to stay aligned with every word heaven continues to release. This is not the end of your preparation, it's the beginning of your purpose. The mantle on your shoulders is heaven's confirmation that your life will no longer echo silence, but sound like prophecy. You are no longer waiting for permission. You have already been chosen. So rise, mantle bearer. Step forward with reverence and courage. The world is about to see what heaven has always known, that God's chosen one walks among them. Chosen one. Every altar demands a flame, and every destiny demands surrender. You have been entrusted with a calling too powerful to be carried casually. Heaven does not pour oil on unyielded vessels. The greater the assignment, the deeper the surrender must be. That is why the pressure around you has intensified. It is the fire testing the depth of your yes. There is a sacred place in every believer's journey where obedience stops being comfortable and starts becoming costly. You are standing in that place now. The Father is asking for what you have guarded most tightly, not because he wants to take from you, but because he wants to trust you with more. The altar is never about loss, it is about exchange. What you release makes room for what heaven wants to pour out. You may have noticed how certain things have recently started to lose their grip on you. Old habits, old fears, even old desires. This is not coincidence. It is sanctification in motion. Heaven is stripping away the unnecessary so you can carry more glory without being crushed by its weight. You cannot step into a new season wearing the garments of an old one. The same fire that refines gold is now refining your heart. As the prophet Samuel recorded in the first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verse 22, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. Those words have echoed across generations, but today they find new meaning in your story. Heaven is not impressed by empty rituals or half-hearted offerings. What moves the heart of God is obedience born of trust. The obedience that costs you something, that stretches you, that forces you to believe even when you do not understand. Chosen one. This is the moment when your faith matures from belief to surrender. It's no longer about asking God to bless your plans. It's about laying your plans on the altar and asking Him to breathe His will through them. When you finally yield that one thing you've been holding back, your timeline, your desire, your control, you will see what true freedom feels like. Because obedience does not imprison, it liberates. The altar you build in your heart will become the gateway of your anointing. Fire always falls where there is true surrender. That fire will not destroy you, it will distinguish you. It will burn away doubt, fear, and pride, leaving only purity and power. What once held you captive will lose its authority the moment you say, "Yes, Lord, I trust you more than I trust myself." Do not fear what obedience will cost. Fear what disobedience might delay. Every miracle requires a moment of surrender. Abraham had to raise the knife before God released provision. Moses had to lay down the staff before it became a serpent of power. Peter had to step out of the boat before he ever walked on water. Every act of obedience unlocks a dimension of glory that disobedience keeps shut. So now, as you stand before the altar of decision, remember this truth: heaven never asks without purpose. Whatever you lay down will return multiplied and transformed. You are being prepared for an encounter that will redefine everything about you. The fire you feel is not punishment, it is purification. And when you emerge from this refining, you will not just carry fire, you will become it. The world will see a light in your eyes that no darkness can extinguish. You will no longer speak of surrender, you will embody it. For the chosen ones are not merely believers, they are burning altars where heaven and earth meet. Chosen one. The gates of prophecy are opening. Heaven's clock has reached the precise moment marked for your unveiling. All that was hidden, all that was delayed, all that was promised now converges in divine synchronization. The heavens are speaking again, not in thunder or fire, but in the quiet revelation that something irreversible has shifted. The spiritual air feels heavier, richer, charged with expectancy. It is the atmosphere that surrounds fulfillment. For too long, you have stood at the edge of breakthrough, sensing its nearness but unable to cross. You prayed, fasted, believed, yet it always seemed a step away. But now the unseen door begins to move. The locks you could not open by force are clicking open by favor. The timing of God is finally in your favor. Chosen one. This is not random. The signs you've been seeing, the sudden alignment of moments, the peace that has replaced confusion, all of it is heaven's way of whispering, now. The number assigned to this moment is 888, a prophetic number of resurrection, new beginnings, and divine abundance. 8 represents the start of something completely new, and when heaven repeats it 3 times, it declares overflow. This number is not a coincidence, it is your confirmation. According to what is revealed in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 5, he who was seated on the throne said, "Behold, I am making all things new." Eighteen, the Ketuls. That word resounds in your life today. Everything that once carried the scent of death, dreams that died too early, opportunities that slipped away, love that was lost will breathe again. Resurrection power is not just an event, it is a realm. You are about to walk in it. The number 888 is the sound of heaven restarting your story. It marks the close of every unfinished chapter. The mistakes of your past cannot follow you through this gate. The labels others placed on you are dissolving under the light of truth. Where there was scarcity, there will be supply. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was delay, there will be acceleration. Chosen one. Heaven's gate does not open for the passive, it opens for the prepared. And you, though weary, are ready. The battles have shaped your discernment. The waiting has trained your endurance. And the tears have watered the soil of your faith. You are not who you were when this journey began. The old you could not carry the weight of what is about to come. That is why the old had to end for the new to begin. So, listen as a prophetic act of agreement. I want you to comment 888. Do it not as a superstition, but as a declaration. When you type those numbers, you are speaking the language of heaven. You are saying, I receive my new beginning. I receive resurrection where there was ruin. Heaven honors faith expressed in action. Even in something as simple as 3 numbers typed with conviction. This Monday, December 29, 2025, is not just another day, it is your resurrection morning. The stone has been rolled away. The promise is alive again. The number has been spoken. The gate is open. Step through it. Chosen one. And watch as everything dead within you rises with power. Chosen one. The exchange has begun. Heaven has declared that it is time for what you have carried in pain to be transformed into power. Every moment of sorrow, every wound you thought would never heal, every disappointment that tried to silence your hope, all of it is being rewritten in the fire of divine exchange. You have given God your ashes, and He is handing you beauty. You have surrendered your mourning, and He is clothing you with joy. The realm of divine exchange is sacred ground. It is where human effort ends and divine intervention begins. It is not a transaction, it is a transformation. You do not bring perfection to this altar, you bring what is broken. Heaven does not despise your fragments. In fact, it is your very brokenness that invites the miracle. God does not build with polished pieces, He builds with surrendered ones. Chosen one. Do you remember the weight you carried? The loss, the betrayal, the fear that followed you into every new season. Those were not random wounds. They were markings of refinement. The deeper the cut, the greater the capacity for glory. Pain is never wasted in the hands of the Redeemer. He turns it into prophetic material, into stories that heal, into voices that carry authority, into strength that cannot be imitated. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. That scripture is not a poetic promise, it is the spiritual law of exchange. You cannot stay in the old garment of despair while walking into the new realm of destiny. The heaviness you once wore is being lifted. The sound of mourning is giving way to the rhythm of rejoicing. You are not who you were, and you will never be that person again. The fire that once broke you now burns for you. This transformation is quiet, yet unstoppable. Others might not see it immediately, but heaven does. Your spirit is changing frequency. The pain that used to pull you down now propels you forward. The very memories that once made you tremble are becoming testimonies of strength. What once brought tears will soon bring worship. The bitter chapters are being rewritten with oil, and the ink is made of joy. Chosen one. The beauty of divine exchange is that you never walk away with what you brought. When you place your burden at heaven's altar, you cannot leave with it. You must walk away lighter, freer, radiant with something you did not have before. The crown of beauty does not replace the ashes, it rises from them. God never erases your story, He redeems it. Every scar becomes evidence that grace won. There is a shift even now as you read these words. The ache in your heart is being met by peace that surpasses understanding. The shame that once clung to your name is dissolving under the light of mercy. You are standing in the place where tragedy turns to testimony. Heaven has seen your endurance and has decided it is time to restore double for your trouble. So stand still in awe. Chosen one, feel the weight of new glory resting on your shoulders. The ashes no longer define you, the crown does. The tears no longer stain you, the oil covers you. This is your exchange: pain for purpose, loss for legacy, mourning for melody. What was once your breaking point is now the birthplace of your anointing. And when Monday arrives, heaven will unveil the final proof that no suffering is wasted when surrendered to God. You will walk not as one who survived, but as one who was transformed. Chosen one, when heaven decides to roar. Every power that once opposed you trembles. The voice of the Lord does not whisper when deliverance comes, it thunders. It shakes the foundations of what once held you captive and announces to every realm that freedom has arrived. The Lion of Judah is not silent over your life. His roar is echoing across your atmosphere right now, dismantling every chain, breaking every curse, silencing every accusation that dared to rise against you. You may not hear it with your natural ears, but your spirit knows the sound. It is the vibration that wakes you at night with peace instead of fear. It is the surge of courage you feel when you should be tired. The roar of heaven is more than sound. It is power in motion. It is the command that darkness cannot ignore. For too long, the enemy has tried to convince you that you are surrounded, that your prayers were powerless, that your strength was gone. But the roar shatters illusion. It reminds every demon, every spirit of despair, every whisper of doubt, that you belong to the Almighty. When heaven roars, the shadows scatter. When heaven speaks, hell falls silent. The Word of God declares in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 16, "The Lord will roar from Zion and thunder from Jerusalem. The earth and the heavens will tremble. But the Lord will be a refuge for his people, a stronghold for the people of Israel." That promise is alive right now. You are the one under his protection. The trembling you feel in the spiritual realm is not danger, it is deliverance. The enemy thought his last strike would finish you, but it only provoked the roar. The same voice that called light out of darkness is calling strength out of your spirit. Chosen one. The roar of heaven does not merely defend it, commissions. It releases marching orders. It calls forth every dormant gift, every buried dream, every hidden ability that fear once silenced. The roar does not come to comfort you, it comes to awaken you. It is the sound that stirs warriors from sleep, reminding them that they were never victims, they were victors in disguise. When God roars, confusion loses its grip. The fog that clouded your decisions begins to lift. Suddenly, you see with precision, and the path that once looked impossible becomes clear. This is not your imagination, it is revelation. Heaven is resetting your vision so that you can move forward without hesitation. There is no weapon, no curse, no word spoken against you that can stand when heaven roars. The roar breaks generational cycles, cancels demonic contracts, and silences every lie that tried to rewrite your identity. The same power that parted the Red Sea is clearing the waters before you now. The same authority that raised Lazarus from the dead is resurrecting what seemed permanently lost. Chosen one, this is the sound of your turning point. The battle that once surrounded you is being reversed. You are moving from survival to sovereignty, from oppression to ownership, from trembling to triumph. The roar of heaven is your covering and your calling. So walk in quiet confidence, knowing that heaven's thunder goes before you. When the Lion of Judah roars, the story is settled. No power can rewrite what his voice has decreed. The chains have broken. The darkness has fled. You are free, and the sound of that freedom will echo through every corner of your destiny. Chosen one. There comes a moment when obedience becomes history. When what was once a quiet yes whispered in prayer turns into a movement that heaven records forever. That is what this Monday, December 29, 2025, is destined to be. This is not just a date on a calendar, it is a divine memorial. A moment where heaven will say, "They obeyed." Your response in this season carries more weight than you realize. When you say yes, timelines shift. When you move in obedience, history bows. Every act of faith, every prayer, every step, every moment you chose to trust God despite uncertainty has been preparing this convergence. You have been walking toward this moment, even when you did not know it. Your tears watered the soil, your waiting stretched your faith, your endurance wrote your testimony. You are standing now where heaven and history meet. It is written in the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verse 26, "Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, my servant also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me." Those words define the power of obedience. To follow is not to move ahead, it is to align. And alignment always attracts honor. The Father himself has seen your service, your willingness to follow even when the path felt dark. He is not unjust to forget your labor. Heaven keeps perfect records, and the ink of your obedience does not fade. Chosen one. What happens this Monday is more than breakthrough, it is fulfillment. You are stepping into the part of your story where heaven's promise becomes visible. The shift you are about to witness will not just bless you, it will ripple through those connected to your name. Your obedience will become a bridge for others to cross into their purpose. That is the weight of being chosen. You don't just rise for yourself, you rise for nations. There will be signs of confirmation, conversations that align, opportunities that appear, peace where anxiety once ruled. It will feel like heaven is breathing directly into your circumstances, and that's exactly what it will be. When heaven breathes, things move. When you obey, things multiply. And when that moment comes, when you feel the shift in your atmosphere and you sense heaven's approval resting upon you, pause and honor it. Like this message, not because it's expected, but because it's a way of saying, "I recognize what God is doing here." Share it sincerely, because someone's destiny might be waiting for this same reminder. If this word has found its way deep into your spirit, then subscribe to stay connected, not for the sake of routine, but because the flow of revelation continues. And those who stay connected to truth grow stronger with every word. Finally, take a quiet moment to respond in the comments, not out of habit, but out of reflection. Comment, "I choose to obey." Let it be your signature of surrender, your declaration that you will follow wherever He leads. Words have power, and this one seals your decision in faith. Chosen one. Obedience will forever be your greatest offering. You are stepping into the pages of history, not as a spectator, but as a participant in heaven's story. When you look back on December 29, 2025, you will not just remember what changed, You will remember that this was the day you said yes. Chosen one. The dust is settling now. The storm that once raged around you is quieting. And for the first time in a long time, peace feels tangible. This is the aftermath of glory, the holy calm that follows divine visitation. Heaven has moved. The battle has turned. The roar has faded into stillness. Not because the fire is gone, but because victory no longer needs to shout. You have crossed the threshold of fulfillment. What you feel now is not emptiness, it is space. The kind of space God leaves after breakthrough so that new growth can take root. This is the season when the noise subsides and the harvest begins to appear. It's quiet, but alive, silent, yet full of motion. The unseen roots of what God just planted in your spirit are spreading fast. You are not the same person who began this journey. The reflection you see in the mirror carries a new weight of glory, a gentleness shaped by battle, a depth of peace that only comes after wrestling with heaven and surviving the fire. This is what transformation looks like. It's not loud or dramatic, but unmistakably real. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 6, He will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. That is the season you have entered, a time when your righteousness, your quiet endurance, and your unseen obedience will begin to shine without effort. You no longer have to prove what God has already validated. The fruit will speak for itself. The justice of your cause will become visible, not because you demanded recognition, but because heaven has chosen this moment to reveal the truth of who you are. Chosen one. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of manifestation. The prayers you thought had expired are sprouting now. The seeds you planted years ago are breaking through the soil of time. You will see restoration in relationships that once seemed lost, resources where there was lack, laughter where there was mourning. The favor of God will follow you quietly, like a soft wind that shifts doors open just as you approach them. You may feel unsteady at first. Glory is heavy when you've carried pain for so long, but heaven is teaching you how to live in peace without waiting for the next battle. The rhythm of rest will replace the pattern of resistance. You will learn to breathe again, not in fear of losing, but in confidence of having already won. Chosen one. The signs will be subtle but sure. You will notice divine timing aligning effortlessly. People who once misunderstood you will suddenly begin to see clearly. Paths that were blocked will now seem obvious and illuminated. You will begin to walk in ease, not because the journey is shorter, but because the grace on your life has multiplied. This Monday, December 29, 2025, will mark the closing of one chapter and the dawn of another. You will wake not as a survivor, but as a steward, someone entrusted with revelation, someone called to carry glory with humility. Rest now. Chosen one. The battle has been won. The fire has done its work. The silence that surrounds you is not absence, it is presence. The same God who fought for you is now dwelling with you. You have stepped out of the storm and into serenity. And from this moment on, peace will be your atmosphere. Chosen one. Time itself has witnessed what heaven has done in you. The calendar will call it December 29, 2025. But eternity will remember it as the day your story turned. This moment is not just an ending, it is an echo. The vibrations of your obedience, your faith, and your perseverance will ripple through generations. You may not see the full reach of it now, but heaven does. You are walking proof that divine timing is real, that God's promises never expire, and that grace always finishes what it starts. When heaven writes history, it does not record wealth, applause, or achievement. It records obedience. The chronicles of glory remember who listened, who trusted, who refused to quit when the silence grew heavy. And your name, chosen one, has been written there. You have become one of the living testimonies, an evidence of what happens when a human heart stays surrendered to the divine. In every season, God was shaping you into this moment. The fire refined your faith. The waiting deepened your wisdom. The storms taught you to discern His whisper in the chaos. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding to purpose. Every part of you, even the broken pieces, has been realigned to serve the greater design. The ancient words recorded in the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 18, declare, "And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit." That is what this journey has been about, not survival, not success, but transformation. You have moved from being shaped by circumstances to being shaped by glory. The veil has been lifted. What you once saw as pain, you now recognize as process. What you once feared as endings, you now understand as beginnings in disguise. Chosen one, heaven looks at you and sees reflection, its own light shining through your humanity. You were never called to be perfect. You were called to be a mirror. Every scar reflects His mercy. Every victory reveals His strength. Every word you now speak carries residue from the presence that transformed you. The road ahead will still stretch long, but it will no longer feel lonely. The same God who met you in the dark will walk beside you in the light. You will move forward not by striving, but by abiding. Every step will be guided. Every season will carry significance. The peace that now rests on you is not temporary, it is covenantal. It will follow you into every future assignment. This day, December 29, will become more than a memory. It will become a marker, a reminder that history itself bends when heaven speaks. You will tell this story not with pride, but with awe, not to glorify what you endured, but to magnify the one who carried you through it. And as time continues, you will see the ripple of your yes doors opening for others because you dared to stand. Hope awakening in hearts because you refused to give up. The torch that once felt too heavy will now burn effortlessly, for you are no longer carrying it alone. Chosen one, this is your eternal echo. You have crossed from striving into stillness, from believing into becoming. The world will remember the miracles, but heaven will remember the moment you said yes. The record has been sealed. The legacy has begun. When the sun rises again, you will not simply be living, you will be reigning. For the mark of a chosen one is not that they survived history, but that history itself bowed to their obedience. Beloved chosen one, if you have reached this final moment, know that it is not by chance. Heaven led you here. Every word you have just walked through was more than writing, it was revelation. Written with you in mind, you have stood through fire, crossed through silence, and risen into glory. This is your confirmation you are living inside the story heaven wrote long ago. Now, breathe. Let the peace of this journey settle in your spirit. You are no longer waiting for destiny to begin, it already has. What lies ahead of you is not uncertainty, but unfolding. Walk boldly into it, for heaven has declared you ready. If this message spoke to the hidden places of your soul, if you felt heaven's whisper in these words, take a moment to respond. Like this message as your act of gratitude, your silent amen to what God has done. Share it with someone who needs the same reminder that lifted you. Because sometimes your obedience to share becomes another's awakening. Then pause, reflect, and comment, "I am ready." Let those words be your seal, your declaration that you have heard, believed, and accepted your call. And if your spirit longs to stay connected to this flow of divine truth, subscribe, not for numbers, but for nourishment, for the continuation of what heaven began here. You are not leaving this message the same. You are leaving marked, empowered, and awakened. The chosen ones rise together, and you, beloved, are one of them.